testify. So I dance the night away when nobody's awake.
Good morning. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Tyra's Just Saying. Happy Friday. Hope everybody is doing well today. Well, today we have our guest, Tia Monae. Her company is called Made by Monet. I am your host, Dr. Tyra Gardner. Welcome, Tia.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you on. Can you share a little bit about your journey and what inspired you to start Made by Monet?
Absolutely. So I have been an entrepreneur for over 10 years, and I've had many failed businesses.
Mhm,
I wouldn't say many, but enough.
mhm,
And that's what kind of inspired me is because I had to go through the journey alone,
mhm,
and I had to find the resources, and it was hard. It was very hard to find the
mhm.
resources of how to build a successful business and how to find funding for your business. And so my journey is what inspired me because I didn't want any other entrepreneurs or any women that, wanted to find funding and was getting the denials. So
Mhm.
that really is what inspired me to start Made by Monet so that I can help people just make business funding easy.
Okay, awesome. Many women have great ideas but struggle with accessing capital. What do you think why do you think funding is such a major challenge for women in business?
Well, number one, just being a woman in general, sometimes we're not viewed as professionals or
Mhm,
we don't have the certain criteria and the knowledge. I think the thing that keeps us away from the funding is the lack of knowledge of
mhm,
what funders are looking for. And depending on what type of funding you're going after, like the banks will be looking for certain criteria. And I think that information is pretty very tightly gatekept. So
mhm.
a lot of that is not shared with women entrepreneurs and just that knowledge. And I think that's why a lot of women struggle to get the funding that they deserve.
Oh, okay. Can you walk us through how Made by Monet helps women not just secure funding, but also stay in business long term?
Yes, absolutely. So, when I first started my journey as well, I started off as just a grant writer, and I was going and I was helping entrepreneurs, in particular women entrepreneurs, because I seen the struggle that they were going through to receive grant funding. And
Mhm,
as I was along my journey, one of the things that I noticed is that a lot of women were not grant ready. And
mhm,
when I say grant ready,
mm.
basic, just basic things that you
Wow.
should have for your business, as
Mhm,
such as a website or
mhm,
a working professional email address. These are
mhm,
all things that women need to be grant ready. So I seen a lot of that, and so I shifted to more of a co-mentor approach. So I
mhm,
not only coach women to get grant funding and business funding for their business, but I also mentor them along the way. So that created my BFF program, which is Business Foundations and Funding. And
mhm,
it is an amazing business coaching program that helps women entrepreneurs to stay in business, not
mhm,
only to secure business funding, but to get the resources and the help that they need. So if they're
mhm.
even looking to start a business, we help to build a roadmap to help them to start their business. If they're looking to increase their sales, we help them to increase their sales. But the ultimate goal is to build a solid foundation so that you can secure funding for your business.
Oh, that is awesome. And you are not just a grant writer, because let me tell you, you are a grant writer.
Thank
It's like we always say the word just, but no, because believe it or not, that is something that is bigger than what a lot of people can even imagine.
you.
It's a skill that a lot of people don't have, that strive to try to get, but
Yeah.
it's a knack that goes along with it, so never say I was just no, you wasn't just you was the grant
Grant
writer. You were
writer.
doing what you had
Absolutely.
to do, to secure funding for yourself as well as secure funding for others. And I had the pleasure of speaking on Tia's platform this past Sunday, which was awesome. I met a group of awesome African American business women trying to do their, not trying, doing their
Doing.
thing
Yeah.
in business, right? Doing their thing in business, trying to create legacies and just being, being bosses, the bosses that we are. And it was awesome being able to talk to them about, we talked about burnout and entrepreneurship, and so I think, what you're doing with your platform is amazing with
Thank you.
allow, with, basically trying to make sure they're well in all areas of their business, and so look, you guys, so you wanted something really big. I hope you do realize that, Tia.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I realize it. It's just getting trying to get women to realize
Look,
that this is
that
something
part, look, that
they
part,
need.
that part, because let me tell you, it's hard to get people to realize exactly what they need.
Hmm.
And the thing is, we need them to realize it before it gets too late.
Right.
Yeah, because
Exactly.
that's where the big problem comes.
Hmm.
So for a woman who's just starting out and may feel intimidated by the financial sides of business, what's the first step she should take?
So I would say to really, I always whenever someone joins my program, they always want to go head first into grants. They
Hmm.
love grants. Everybody grants,
Hmm.
grants, grants, grants. And I'm like, well, what are
Hmm.
you doing in your business right now so that you don't
Hmm.
need a grant? Because what they don't
Mm.
understand is that grantors don't like to fund struggling businesses. They don't
No, they
fund
don't.
broke businesses. So we need to get your business building some generating some revenue.
Hmm.
So if
Right.
you're starting off and you're thinking about like going after business funding in particular
Hmm.
grants, one of the things that you need to do is you need to actually build your business revenue. And so
Hmm.
you need to focus in how can I enhance my revenue? How can I grow my
Hmm.
clientele? So in the coaching program, one of the things that I do is I have them to grow their revenue first
Hmm.
before we
Okay.
even start to go after grants, because grants
Hmm.
are supposed to be like the cherry on top of a sundae, and you need to
Hmm.
build your business up, and then if you get a grant, then that's just the extra bonus. It's an amazing bonus, but we
Hmm.
want to build our business up so that when funders look at us, they can see that we're not a struggling business. And so
Hmm.
many people try to go after grants in their struggling business, and
Hmm.
nobody wants to pour money into a sinking ship. So
Right.
that's why a lot of funders they have requirements like you must make at least $30,000 a year to
Hmm.
apply for a grant. So if
Hmm.
you're starting off and you're wanting to really get into funding and
Hmm.
really to navigate the grant world, I would highly suggest that you really build your business up first
Hmm.
before
Hmm.
you even think about going after grants. And also, one of the tips that I always give entrepreneurs is you have to have a social media page. Even if you don't
Mm.
like a website, if you don't
Right.
have anything, social media is free. You can make a post on Facebook and then make sure you're posting and you're building your content. So those
Hmm.
are two things that I would say is to build your revenue and to build your awareness on social media.
Okay. Look, I totally agree. And I think that is practical tools and guidance that
Mhm.
entrepreneurs can use, right? And again, it's free. Y'all heard it
Right.
first, y'all. Look, y'all heard it first. Y'all should have already knew it, but it's free. All
Right. And
right.
we understand if you can't get a website, you got to pay for a hosting site and all of
Mm-hmm.
that. And it is funding that is involved in that. But some you can get a free landing page. So they
Yes.
like to see that. Like my business, we give out a grant as well. And I would tell
Hmm.
you the review board, they are serious. If you don't have social media, they don't even look at your application. So
Wow.
because they look at it as if you can't take advantage of something free to advertise your business,
Right.
then why would you need funding to build your business? So that's one
Mm.
of the things that I always, right, even if you don't have like your LLC or your
Right.
501(c)(3, if you don't have those credentials yet, you should still have a some kind of social media page because it's free.
Hmm. Okay. Look, I love that, and I'm glad that you spoke on that because, people think that, I guess from all of the things that they do see in social media that, oh, I start a business, I can get me some funding just like that. And it's not
Don't work
just like
like
that.
that.
It
Yeah.
takes it is steps that have to be achieved in order to get the funding,
Absolutely.
But people think, because they hear people, oh, you can get this and you don't need that. And no, you need to meet with a business coach such as Tia Monae to find out exactly what it is that you really need to get done. And so, what success stories stand out to you when times when a client went from struggle to thrive with your support?
So one of the ones that really, so I'll tell two quick ones. So the first one is I had a client and she came to me. She had been in business for 19 years and she
Hmm.
had a bake. She was baking in home, and
Hmm.
so one of the things that I seen is that she was utilizing vendors and vendor events and different things like that to sell her baked
Hmm.
goods, and she wanted to get a bakery, a shop. And so one
Hmm.
of the things that I did is I challenged her. I said, okay, we can't go after grants right now because your revenue is not where it needs to be. So let's use this method and let's elevate your revenue. And so I challenged her on Thanksgiving to do a
Hmm.
pie-a-thon, right? So to
Oh,
sell
okay.
as many pies as you can during Thanksgiving and to try to
Right.
sell at least one pie a day. And so when I
Hmm.
challenged her and I gave her the method, because we built a blueprint and your
Hmm.
blueprint is customized to whatever your business needs are. And so I
Hmm.
gave her the tools to do that. And when she finished, she said, I have never made this much money in 19 years in my business. So she made
Hmm.
so much money over the holidays just by implementing the instructions that I gave her. And not even a year later, she now
Hmm.
just opened her first bakery bistro in Missouri. So she sent me a picture and was like, "Look, I did it." So that
That's
was a super
awesome.
amazing one. And then another lady that's in our program, she's been in my program since the beginning of times. She's a therapist, and she usually when you go after to get like donations and you go after to get
Hmm.
people to donate, or you do like a crowdfunding, it's typically for nonprofits. So we focus with nonprofits and for profits, but her therapist business is a for profit, and so
Hmm.
she still attended the nonprofit classes, and so
Hmm.
she took the information we gave her on how to build a crowdfunding campaign, and she was able to get a donor to donate her $25,000 for
Hmm.
her business. So that was really great. And just recently, that's like a very small win. One of my clients, she has a sign business, a yard sign business. And
Hmm.
I gave her some tools and different resources. And I told her,
Hmm.
I said, you need to do this. Let's do this. Let's try this. You've done all of these things, but
Hmm.
let's do this. Because one of my strengths is ideas. God has just given
Hmm.
me, it's just, I don't know, this gift of coming up with ideas really fast. And so I challenged her for the month of August, and she has received so many clients for the month of August. And she was like, I am booked and busy. I have never been this booked and busy. So those
That's
are just a few
awesome.
success stories from the women in the BFF program.
But that is awesome. I love it. And I met those women the other night. That
Oh,
was
yeah. Yep.
awesome. That was awesome. And so, how do you see Made by Monet growing in the next 5 years? And what legacy do you hope to leave in the space for women entrepreneurs?
Oh, that's a great question. So I really see Made by Monet traveling. This information that I'm giving women, I'm actually starting now. September
Hmm.
21st, I'll be in St. Louis, Missouri. And so I want to get this show on the road. We do a lot of Zoom sessions, and it's great. The lady who actually
Hmm.
opened her first bistro, she lives in Missouri, and she drove to see me. I'm in Illinois, and she drove to see me. And she
Okay.
was my very first client in my new office. And she said, I need to be in person. I need it in person. Like the Zoom sessions are great. And so that kind of kicked it off. And I was like, okay, I want to get and I want to travel. So we're going to be doing a tour. I'm an author as well. So it kind of all ties in. And so we'll be doing a made to be paid women's business brunch tour.
Hmm.
So we're kicking the pilot program off in St. Louis, Missouri, coming soon. And then in 2026, we're going to be traveling all over the United States doing a tour just to help women to build business funding and just to get grant ready. And the legacy that I hope to leave behind is that for my generation to come behind me and to not have to struggle, to not have
Mhm.
to, they'll have something that's already on a platform, and to keep this so that they can continue to help women entrepreneurs to get the funding that they deserve.
That is awesome. I love it. And look, you got to let me know if you come into Philly or if you need help with your tour.
Okay.
Just yeah, we definitely gonna stay in touch. We met actually
Definitely.
y'all on Facebook. I was
Mhm.
following her. We've been following each other for years, and I've been loving the content and everything that you've been putting out. On Facebook, and I was just like, oh my goodness. And when you put out an ask for people to come over, I was like, oh yeah, let me see if I can go and speak to her group about different things. So yes, I love it, love it, love it. And
Yes.
so, how can people connect with you and learn more about Made by Monet? And what do you have? Do you have anything that you're offering? If you want to sell your book or anything, what do you have that you're working on now outside of the tour and everything?
So, I'm on Facebook. I'm typically more on Facebook. I'm trying to get into the LinkedIn. I do TikTok. I've had a couple viral videos on TikTok, but I'm
Okay.
trying to get into LinkedIn. But
Hmm.
I'm on Facebook, under it was a personal page that turned business.
Hmm.
I do have a business page, so don't say, oh, she's not going by her coaching strategies. I do have a business page, but I'm more active on my personal page, and that's Tia.
Hmm.
And then Monet is spelled Monae on Facebook
Oh,
because I wanted
okay.
people to know how to say
Hmm.
it.
Oh,
But it's actually spelled Monea. But I put on
okay.
Facebook the Monet, like how people
Hmm.
typically spell it. So I'm
Right.
on Facebook. I put a lot of information in there. I have a
Hmm.
free group that you can post, promote your business, get free resources, and that's the Made by Monet Millionaires group. And
Hmm.
then the BFF coaching program is something that I am offering right now. And to any viewers that are watching and you are interested in just seeing
Hmm.
what the coaching program is,
Hmm.
we have a workshop this Sunday on funding. So I'm willing to give a free trial so that you can kind of see what it is this Sunday if anyone is interested in joining. And a
Hmm.
lot of this information is on my website. We do have
And what's your
the
website? I'm gonna drop it on the.
Okay, it's
Hmm.
www.madebymonet, spells the Monea, .com. And so
Oh,
I have a grant VIP group on Fridays. I post so many grants. Like today, I have posted over one grant was $3 million. And it's
girl,
grants
let
for
me go to that site and go grab this stuff up.
Yes, and it's grants in any type of people. As long as you're a woman and you're an entrepreneur there or a
Hmm.
minority, there's a grant out there for you. And
Okay.
so I post a lot of grants in this group. It's a private group. I always
Hmm.
say it's $1 a day to keep the grants coming your way because
I know
literally,
that's right. You have to
literally,
research. You have to
yes.
find it. So yeah, no, I get it.
Yes, it's $30 subscription for the
Hmm.
VIP group, and it has so many grants. So this group is
Hmm.
really great for people who have written grants or know about grants, and just need the links to apply.
Right.
And so that's a really great resource that we have with Made by Monet, and it's in Facebook, and you can get the grant list out. If you're not in Facebook, you can get the grant list. Sent to your email as well. And then
Hmm.
we also have the BFF coaching program. And so
Okay.
that is, you can do group coaching or you can do group coaching plus one on ones. And
Hmm.
the one on ones are where you really get the information and you get one on one time with me. And
Hmm.
we build that blueprint together. And
Hmm.
then I do offer grant writing services. However, I am very selective on who I work with and I'm very picky
You
because
have to be.
Yes, I just don't want to take your money. I could,
Hmm.
just take your money, and I know that you're not grant ready, but I am a very transparent,
Hmm.
I lead with integrity. And so that's why I kind of went to the coaching before I
Hmm.
did the grant writing. So I do
Hmm.
offer grant writing services for entrepreneurs who are ready for grant.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and so, yeah, so those are some of the services I offer. The grant writing is not even actually on my website. Like you can't even book with that because I've had people that have went and was like, nope, I want you to write me a grant. And then they pay the money and I'm like, okay, we don't even have a website. We don't even have
A whole
social
lot of stuff
media.
that wasn't right.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
um, Yeah, so those are some of the services that I have. And then September 21st is the Made to Be Paid Women's Business Brunch in St. Louis, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be dynamic. I'm so excited. We have a powerhouse panel
Mm-hmm.
from makeup artists to boutique owners, to caterers to nonprofit executive directors. We have people flying in from Florida, from Alabama, from
Wow.
Illinois. So it's going to be the first. It's the pilot
Mm-hmm.
program. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
be really great. It's going to be brunch. It's going to be fun. I don't do typical like little workshops where it's just blah 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 blah. I like to work in my workshop, so we're going to
Right.
actually be going over grants. So we're going to be doing applications, and we're going to go, those questions. I'll have my pink
Mm-hmm.
seat chair where you can ask
Mm-hmm.
questions. Um, and then also, we'll have the panel, and then we're going to be
Mm-hmm.
giving away a grant at the event too. So
Oh, that's
the
I love
participants
it.
have a chance to win a grant as well. So it is going to be a great time, and that's September 21st in St. Louis,
Okay.
Missouri.
Oh, that's going to be awesome. That is going to
I'm
be an
excited.
awesome
I'm
event.
so
I know
excited
you
about
are. Look, you have a lot to be excited about.
it.
That is awesome. Oh my goodness. So yeah, we gotta keep in contact. You are a friend of Tyra. Tyra's just saying, so you definitely have to come back, talk to us about things that's happening, and let us know if anything else that we could promote for you, or if you want to come back for another interview, you're more than welcome to come back and for us to have these conversations.
Yes, this was so fun, and thank you for coming from to our platform and
Oh my
speaking.
God. It was
It
my
was
look, it was my honor. I was happy to be there and happy to speak with everyone. This was awesome. Thank you so much, Monet, for taking time out of your busy schedule to come to this interview today.
Thank you. Thanks for
Every
having me.
Oh, so happy I could. Everybody, this is Tia Monae, made by Monet. Follow her on Facebook at Tia Monae. Monet, flip. I got the right way on that scrolling on the bottom. But
Yeah, I see it.
thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming through. And everyone, thank you all for tuning in today. And I look forward to talking to all of you again in 2 weeks on Friday, September the 26th. I'm back on. So I will talk to y'all then. Have a good one. God bless.
See ya.
Bye. Yep.
Bye.